by the founder of the School of It was started by the founder of the School of Ancient Wisdom, Mama Nise, our much loved Mama Nise, many years ago. So before we continue, may I request Swati to say the school prayer.
Good evening, all. Namaste. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee know he is also one with every other. Thank you.
Thank you, Swati. So once again, a very warm welcome to all the Satsangis today. My name is Ramesh RK and I'll be your host. I volunteer to host the Satsang for the past couple of years now, and it's really been a joy and a sacred responsibility that I've taken up to forward Mama Nise's work of providing a space, a physical space, such as the School of Ancient Wisdom that is located near Devanahalli, near the airport at Bangalore, and also this virtual space, the satsang that we come to every Thursday. And the reason we all keep coming here again and again is to really take part in experiencing this vibration that transforms and uplifts each and every one of us. It's like recharging, we can say. Something that we all need on our growth path. Of course, maybe till we reach a point. So we have an amazing speaker with us today, Acharya Agyaatadarshan Anand Nath. Namaste ji. So I'd like to give a quick introduction about our speaker today. Our satsang is about Tantra, very unusual topic. Now, before we go on, today being a Guruvara, let us connect with our own inner Guru. We've all come from a busy day into this space of quietness. As we enter the inner world, please prepare yourselves, ourselves, to receive the wisdom and raise our consciousness to the highest level as appropriate, as per divine will today. Please sit straight with your back, neck, and head aligned. Quietly fold inward. Focus your attention on the silence as we connect with our inner Guru on this Guruvara. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Observe the silence within, the language of the soul that connects all of us. So, this satsang today is Liberation through Tantra by Acharya Agyaatadarshan Anand Nath. A quick introduction to our speaker today. Acharya Agyaatadarshan Ji and Ma Shakti Devi Priya Ji are the founders of the Shakti multiversity. They are teachers in the extreme rare Tantric tradition of Sri Vidya, the Krama system. They represent the pious lineage of Sri Hayagrivananda Nathji, a Himalayan master, Acharya Agyaatadarshan and his Mahabhairavi Ma Shakti Devi Priya are also included in the Vama Tantra by the great Vama Marga teacher Gurudev Shri Kaleshwarananda Kali Baba, and the lineage of Kali Kamli Wale, Rishikesh. Please pardon me if I'm not pronouncing this correctly. Belonging to both the right and left tantric traditions of holy cities of Prayag and Rishikesh, Acharya Agyaatadarshan Anand Nath and Ma Shakti have been educating people in the Vedic yoga system and authentic tantric spirituality for more than 17 years. In addition to guiding the serious spiritual seekers across the world personally, Ma and Acharya ji have taken up the onerous task of teaching through discourses, workshops, and writings. Acharya ji has been teaching the core principles of Tantra through his live discourses on the scriptures like Shiv Sutra, Spanda Karika, Saundarya Lahari, etc. Some of his initial talks were published as a book called Sacred Pebbles. His new book, Dhyana Sutras, Ancient Operating System for the Modern Mind, presents practical techniques to work on the modern mind. Now, many of us have heard the word Tantra, and sometimes we relate to it in a fearful manner. But actually, the root of Tantra is highly spiritual. If we understand it in the perfect manner, it can really support our personal consciousness growth and our spiritual growth. So, with much eagerness, a lot of enthusiasm, over to Acharya ji. Namaste, Acharya ji, and welcome to the School of Ancient Wisdom.
You are. I forgot what was my job here. What is supposed to be done by me? Ramesh, can you guide me?
Sure. The
Yeah.
topic today is Liberation through Tantra.
Okay. Okay, exactly this is the state of each one of us. We forgot what for we came here. And I'm thankful to Ramesh to make me realize that I am here for something. So in that sense, he becomes my guru. And we all need a guru in this sense. Tantra or yoga or Sankhya or any other philosophy that we study only guide us towards that purpose for which we all have come here. Something which we have forgotten. And I'm sure you must have learned about this word liberation only through a book or someone elder to you or a teacher, because we are not born with this kind of understanding that there exists something like liberation or moksha. So in that sense, again, as a human being, we are all dependent on the pre-existing knowledge. We can't say that we will learn everything by ourselves, that we would know everything by ourselves. By saying all this, I'm actually just trying to establish the need of a guru in every field. Spirituality is no exception. However, most of us who are well read like you people, most of us are in that sense where we feel that we know. Tantra is the only system which has courage to declare that if you know and if you have any knowledge, then you don't know. Basically, the tenet of Tantra, which we find in the ancient Agama Shastra, which is by the name of Shiva Sutras, it declares Jnanam Bandha, Jnanam Bandha, which literally translates into knowledge is bondage. How many of you feel that knowledge is bondage? Because all the while we heard that knowledge is liberating. Well, it does not mean that not knowing is liberating. But knowing this world in a way that we think we know or we try to know is bondage. Tantra calls it a differentiated way of knowledge. It's not wholesome, and I would not dwell so deep into the philosophical aspect of that differentiated or undifferentiated knowledge. However, staying true to the topic, I would rather dwell upon two different aspects of this particular liberation, which we are talking about. What is to be liberated and from whom? Right? And who is to be liberated? And third, do we really want to get liberated? And finally, is liberation something that we want? Because we always want. We don't want to let go. We want to hold on to things, knowledge, experiences, successes, name, fame, family, business, money. And in this light, my whole experience has been in last 25 years that this topic is like selling something which nobody wants. Like I have opened a shop, but there is no demand for this. And we need to really go deeper, even philosophically also, if you see. Moksha is something that has been translated into acquiring of knowledge because we love acquiring something. Our tendency is to grab onto something. But Tantra says, till the time you have this tendency to grab to that knowledge, even if that is of Ishvara or Shiva, it will remain a bondage. Because then you are going to experience or attain something which is definitely not one with you. There will be a duality. I hope I'm able to put across my views in clear terms and you're following me. If not, then I can go down to a very different level also. I'm trying to be a little articulated here.
It is clear, Acharya.
Okay, great. I want to hear that. I want your feedback. Most of people have not switched on their videos, so I really don't know whether I'm talking to real people, dummies, or AIs. So, but anyways, it's my job to speak to the people who don't know themselves. So it's good that they have not switched on because they don't know even after seeing themselves, they'll not be able to know who they are. right? So coming back. So moksha is something which is also defined as one of the purusharthas. When we say purushartha, it means it is attainable for a human being, right? Out of four purusharthas, which is dharma, artha, kama, moksha, moksha stands for liberation. If moksha has been defined as a purushartha, liberation has been defined as a purushartha, it must be well within the reach of ordinary human being. That we must think. So what is to be done for that? What do we do to attain it? And finally, what is it that we are going to get after this liberation or moksha? Believe me, you're not going to get anything. You're going to lose everything. But are we ready to lose whatever mundane or big things we have? Because moksha simply means liberating yourself from whatever you think is my. And that is very much doable. So, in a nutshell, this answers the question, what is to be liberated and from whom? What is to be liberated and from whom? And what are the efforts to be taken up? See, to hold a thing is an effort. To hold on to a thing, to grab a thing and keep it with you is an effort. But how much time does it take to drop an object? Tantra says it is as simple as that. Why? Because we are consistently and continuously holding on to things, identities, people, relationships, and so many other things. And we are not letting them go. We are not able to drop them. Tantra proposes a method through which we can gain that capacity to be able to drop it without getting any iota of disturbance in our mind. Okay? There is another thing which we need to focus here. We say, I want to liberate. I want to liberate. There is no and I want liberation for myself. All of you who have come here probably thought that in this 1 hour lecture, you will get certain tools, techniques, and methods to get to that point where you can say, I want liberation, and therefore I got some clues on it. But Tantra says there is no liberation for I. There is no liberation for I. There is only liberation from I. Okay. When I say I, which I Tantra is referring to? Because the highest tenet Tantric Shaivism has for us is a mantra which is said to be very auspicious, which is Shivoham. Of course, auspiciousness is equal to Shiva. We are all auspicious unless until we assume some role in this world. Normal, young, enthusiastic, energetic, free boy, the day he becomes a husband, you know what happens to. Suffering starts. Therefore, it is quite evident that whatever originally we are, if we return to that, we will attain that what we want, and what all that we are acquiring here is actually useless. Useless, when I say, I literally mean useless. Because all our endeavors that we have been carrying out so far, we thought that we want those objects, those things, those kind of relationships. And we must dwell on to this question: what do we really want? Do we really want a lifestyle of our choice? Do we want material wealth? Do we want a healthy body? What is exactly that we are looking for? Tantra clearly tells you that you are not desiring anything in this world. And the day you recognize it, you will turn inside. Yes, Ramesh, you're saying happiness. Well, we all deserve happiness. We are happiness embodied, but we are making ourselves unhappy. That we don't recognize. However, the philosophy will let you know the higher and deeper aspects of our yearnings. In all our desires, needs, wants, and accumulations and interactions in this world, all our projects, we are seeking ourselves. And let me take you to that. How do we come to that conclusion? And convincingly so, that we are seeking ourselves. Even if we are seeking God, we are seeking ourselves. Even if when we are seeking the so-called liberation, we are not seeking anything. We are seeking ourselves. Let us try to examine this. Okay. First of all, let me put this question to all learned people here. Are we ready to just vanish from this planet right now? Do you have this inner desire, innate desire, that let me vanish completely, let me become nothing? None of us. None of us. Rather, the contrasting thing is that we want to be here forever. Yes or no? If we want to be here forever, nobody wants to just vanish. What are we seeking? We are seeking one aspect which has been defined in spiritual vocabulary, which is called Sat. And the definition you'll find in Gita, all of you are well read. I think in your satsang, you must have listened to so many great teachers, great philosophers. Sat is defined in Gita as na bhavo, na abhavo, vidyate sata, which means the one which never ceases to exist. And the scriptures tell that we are eternal. The cosmic consciousness that has been embodied in this little frame, which we call microcosm, is eternal. Simply means Sat is that desire in us. We want Sat. And Sat is nothing but our own nature. We are that Sat. Anything you want in life, all positive. Of course, Ramesh has just said that I want happiness. But this happiness, even if granted, for how long you want? For how long you want? Forever. To be able to have that kind of happiness forever, you're presuming that you're here forever, which is true. But it is not in our experience. And someone, some teacher, some learned, some siddha must tell us to experience that aspect of ours which is truly recognized by the self, that it is continuing to be existing forever, which means Sat. Second aspect is we want to know, right? Each one of us, why did we come here? Of course, to know something, right? Why do you go to go and read something, go to library? To know something. We can even go to a very mundane level where we can say that why a householder, a normal, ordinary woman is interested to know what is happening in the neighborhood. Just to know, right? So knowledge that we are seeking, how much knowledge we are seeking? Infinite, right? We want infinite knowledge. We want infinite presence, infinite life. And as Ramesh says, we want infinite, I will change the word, infinite Ananda. Philosophy and our experience must tell us clearly that happiness is bundled with sorrow. Any pleasure will turn into pain. It is unavoidable consequence of it. So when you seek happiness, you invite unhappiness also. And Yoga Sutras will also tell you the same thing. Why I'm referring to Yoga Sutras here? Because Tantra and Yoga both are related. They're both Siddha Marga, what we call Siddha Marga. In Siddha Marga, these are the two texts. One is Sankhya, which has been furthered by the later philosophers, and it has become Kashmir Shaivism. So both are same. I'm referring to some of the tenets of Yoga Shastra here because they both belong to the same tradition, Siddha Marga. And there should not be any disrespect for yoga if you are in Tantra. That is what I am telling. Yoga and Tantra are the two faces of the same coin. Where this is clearly told that happiness and of course eternal happiness matched. Happy lead to happiness. And therefore we have defined what we really want. And then that definition would be we don't want unhappiness, we don't want happiness, give me peace. And this is my way of saying that peace or shanti that we experience at times is the remote cousin of the elder brother called Ananda. Okay. So if you really want to date with Ananda, you have to be friend with Shanti. Okay. The first goal for all of us which is very much in our control, is to attain Shanti. All right? Tantra proposes that, how to arrive at that mental state, coupled with yoga, how to arrive at that state of Shanti first. In my book, which recently got published, I have talked about it. And I said, people feel that they are trying to be peaceful through meditation. Well, they are wrong. When you are peaceful, then only you can meditate. This is the bitter fact. So here, let us get back to original subject again. When I said Sat, that means existence. Existence that we are. Never born, not yet dead. At least that much we can say. When did you actually take birth? Do you have any knowledge of that? None of us. It feels as if we are here from ever since eternity, we are here. I'm telling you to go to your experience. Don't go by the pictures and your parents show that you on such and such day you were born. Go to your own experience. Do I have any experience of being born? No. Do you have any experience of death? No. So how do you know that these two exist? If these two opposites don't exist in your consciousness, in your awareness, you must be eternal. That is what Shastras and scriptures and all masters are telling. You are eternal. However, keeping that aside, the other two factors that we talked about, the knowledge and the ananda, the three things that we combine together, then which word we get? Where we arrive? Sat, Chit. Chit is for knowledge. You see? Chit means knowledge. Consciousness is where every knowledge reflects itself. And therefore, Chit, the consciousness, is the seat of knowledge. Therefore, if you just combine these three words, we say Satchidananda. Okay. What our projected God looks like, what are his attributes? Bolo Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai. Which means what? We are doing Jai Jaikar of our own. We have not yet experienced Ananda. If we say, we are wrong. We experience Ananda every day. Tantra draws our attention towards it. He says, the master says that all of us experience Ananda, but in deep sleep, dreamless deep sleep. That is the Ananda that we experience. However, because we aren't ready to analyze and know that experience when sleep is happening, we forget ourselves and kind of we don't register when it is happening. And thus they propose that you can develop, you can work through certain processes so that you can experience that deep ananda within being awake. And then you recognize that you need nothing from the world to achieve it. So Tantra is proposing a brilliant path. It is saying that using the capacities that are already with us, what are those? All the capacities that we have, they can be utilized. They can be utilized and they must be utilized only for one purpose: to attain peace, number one, as a first step, and then take a quantum jump from there to arrive at Ananda, which is our nature. And how do we do that? That I'll take up little later. Yet, we need to literally understand that all of us who are seeking this, Tantra would rate us based on our eligibility. You see? I also want the same thing. Ramesh also wants the same thing. Swati also wants the same thing. Smita also wants the same thing. We all want Ananda, but we are not equal in our capacities. We are not equal. And therefore, one size fits all cannot be the motto here. We have to categorize. We have to. And the true path will definitely do it. And those who have studied little bit of Yoga Sutras by Patanjali, they would know that there also the segregation of seekers has been done. And as I say that Yoga and Tantra are not different, Tantra also clearly defines that there are three broader categories in which each one of us fit as a seeker. The first one, and wherever we are standing today, that is called Sakala Pramata. And when I say Pramata, don't get bogged down by this particular word. The one who knows everything, which means the one who knows. See, I also know the world, you also know the world, Einstein also knew the world, Oppenheimer also knew the world, a businessman also knows the world. Each one of us know. So knower. All right? Pramata means knower. Sakala Pramata means this person, the knower or the self is polluted with, or you can say covered with, three different coverings. Tantra defines three different type of coverings. Those three coverings are said to be karmal, which means he is engaged in doing karma and enjoying the fruits of it. He's not able to detach himself from this particular compulsive act. All of us do karma for what? To attain something from it. Fully knowing. The Gita is yelling at top of, Krishna is yelling at top of his voice, karmanye vadhikaraste ma phalesu kadachana. But still, we think that when we do, we get. We deserve. This is karma mala. This is karma mala. Second mala is maya mala. Tantra defines it as there is a God's creation. You see, we are living in this world, right? We are living in this world. This creation, whose creation is this? God's creation. Who are we? As an individual also, God's creation. But when we become and start perceiving this world, and within this whole cosmic world, we create our miniaturized world. You see, you understand what I mean? Within this world, you have created your own world. Your world is, you are a husband, you have a wife. No, you are a man. She is a woman, but you have created something here. Fully knowing she is a woman, you're calling your wife. Fully knowing I'm a man, you're calling yourself husband. Right? So on and so forth. So many things we are going to just tag as my or define it in some or the other way. Someone becomes uncle, someone becomes fupa, someone becomes anyone. And also, if we look around, objects also become my objects. This is my car. You say, this is my land. Does it really become my? Because whatever we acquire in this world ultimately remains in this world for a limited period of time by way of our entanglement with that object. If you start calling that my, it's a wrong notion. If it would have been really, if you have earned it, it should be with you. Does it stay with us? No. This is called Mayamala. You see? This is a subtler aspect of the impurity which each one of us as a sadhaka, Tantra says, are covered. This is called Mayamala. Next is, we feel that I am separate entity, individuality, a separate packet or source or light of consciousness shining through this complex of Navadvara, Dasha Indriyas, right? And I really loved your prayer. I don't know who has written it, but only if it has been written with the experience of the one who has experienced that whatever your prayer says must be enlightened. Without that, it is just not possible to experience that you are not only here, you are one, you're that one which shines and operates in everything here. Did you not pray like that? Or I could not hear it. Well, if I heard it correctly, I think you did say that in your prayer. But do we really have that experience? Do you really have any methodology to come about that experience? Or just continue to imagine that I am one with other? That is what we need to contemplate on. That is what we need to think. And that is something truly which we should know. How to come to that experience that I am one with everyone. And how beautiful it would be then. Because then I need not become Ambani or Adani to experience that luxury, is it not? At least that way. We can, anecdotal way to say that. But you will have all the sufferings also. But sum total, I'll tell you, it is Ananda. All the joys, all the sorrows, all the pleasures, all the pains that we have will nullify each other. And at the core, what you experience is Ananda. Otherwise, you just imagine. I'm just taking it little detour I'm taking. Just think, if you start experiencing that you are the one who is operating through everyone, then you will be in a lot of pain or a lot of pleasure. But all enlightened masters, did any one of them ever showed this kind of symptom that easy, or kind of the up and down, the crest and curves of happiness, sorrows, happiness, sorrow? We did not. Which means what? Once we imagine, there is a difference. Once we experience, there is altogether different kind of pragmatic view for that. Tantra proposes that knowing, just knowing, when we say, I know that I am one with all, this knowledge is bondage, where I began from. Knowing that I have Atma or soul, just knowing, not experiencing it, is bondage. Knowing that there is God, knowing that there is a cosmic reality and I trust and believe and whatever, use any word, but you have not experienced it, it is still a bondage. You are not born with a soul unless you create it. These are not my words. Not everyone is born with a soul. All of you have soul. I'm questioning. Do you have a soul? Yeah, I have two in my shoes. But I really don't know about you. Do we really have a soul? If you say, I don't know. I know this is, I use this character very often in my talks. and that character name is based on the cultural influence that I have upon myself. There you have the name of Kallu, Pappu, all that. So I call another character, this character is Kallu Halwai. I know for sure that I am Kallu Halwai, but do I have a soul? I don't know. I have son, I have a daughter, I have a wife. If I am lucky, otherwise I have many wives, and so on and so forth. But do I really have a soul? I don't know. If you say that, then you are the candidate for Tantra. If you're sure that you have a soul, go to Vedantic classes. I have nothing to do with that. Vedanta will tell you that you have a soul, and you definitely know I have a soul. Go ahead. Live with this illusion and die in this illusion. Tantra says, no. Till the time you're experiencing yourself separate from this cosmic presence, and you're not able to experience yourself, even occasionally so, you are yet to do a lot of work. Okay? Now, so based on all this, let us rate ourselves now. I was talking about the categories here. All the three malas I have talked about. This mala, that separateness, that limitedness, that minusculeness that I feel within is referred to as a technical word, Anava mala. What Anava means? Anu. If you all of you know Hindi a little bit or Sanskrit, Anu means small. This feeling that I am separate and small and this world is big, I'm not occupying the whole world, is called Anuta, and therefore it is referred to as Adavamal. Now, if one sadhaka or one aspirant has kind of overcome the first barrier, which is karma mala, right? Karma mala. Then he becomes eligible for a higher means or higher upayas, as they are referred to. So three categories. One, which is not yet realized in that sense that he has all the three malas and is still not cognizant that they have mala, which means karma mala they have, but they are not still not thinking. They are still in that non-Gita mode. They are operating in this world in non-Gita, non-Bhagavad Gita mode. They still think that there is something to do, something to achieve based on proportionately I get and so on and so forth. They deserve success, failures, all that. And they also believe in a lot of other things. Somebody has done good to me, I must, reciprocate, but it doesn't end there. Somebody has done very bad to me, then what? I have to reciprocate. As good as that. So if you are still living in that cycle, you're not eligible for that. You become cognizant that you're stuck up in the cycle of give, take, want, karma, action, and so-called. This is where the first time sadhaka is born. And how does that discrimination or viveka comes? Shastras themselves tell. They say, they do say something exactly what you people are doing. You people seem to be managing something called satsang spiral, right? Satsang spiral. Yeah. Is
Spiral
it
of wisdom.
satsang? Huh? Yeah.
Come again, please.
Yeah. Audible now, please. Is it satsang spiral? Am I
Yeah,
correct?
it's called the spiral of satsang, but
Oh, okay, no problem. ठीक है.
a spiral
Let
of
us let
spiral of
satsang no.
wisdom.
Yeah,
Spiral of wisdom.
spiral of wisdom. Good. Good. At least it is not a net of wisdom, because nowadays internet, intranet, a net of wisdom. Somebody comes and gets trapped there. Okay, so moving along the trajectory of satsang only, this discrimination comes. And that too happens by the divine grace. Okay? That too happens by the divine grace. Tulsidas, in his Hindi work of Avadhi Ramayana, he says, Binu satsanga vivek na hui. Without satsang, there cannot be this discrimination. That something more exists. That something else needs to be done. It cannot come. Second, in the same breath, he says, Ram Kripa Binu Sulabh na soi, which means without the divine grace, that satsang doesn't descend in your life. Okay. So here comes this aspect of satsang which you people are managing, doing. I hope you are doing. I don't know how much you are doing, but I'm sure you are doing it in a very great way, and so openly that you have invited this nachis को भी बुला लिया आपने कि आइए आइए, आपका भी स्वागत है, आप भी बोल दीजिए. हम लोग तो प्रोफेशनल सत्संगी हैं. माइंड माई हिंदी. ओके, हम लोग तो प्रोफेशनल सत्संगी. अब तुसी ट्राई करो जी. बहुत बड़े बड़े आके चले गए. पंजाबी वर्ड है, तुसी ट्राई कर लो अब जी. अब हमारा तो अभी तक तो इतने आए और इतने चले गए. हम तो वैसे ही खड़े हैं अटल शिला बन के. तो या, so anyways, let me try my bit. If this resonates with you, maybe I get more appearances here by your grace. And then we'll continue to talk. Satsang will continue. However, coming back. So the one who has become cognizant of karma mala has started working on it, that person is said to be associated with other two higher malas, of course. The Anuta Anav mala, the Maya mala. All the three malas, and one becomes cognizant that he has three malas, is the lowest category of sadhaka. Lowest. But does not mean that lowest sadhaka cannot achieve the highest. That's the beauty here. With the lowest of means, you can achieve the highest, but according to your capacities, that method will be given. And that method is known as Adavopaya. Just a technical word. Adavopaya. Or let's say grade 3 Upaya. Or the lowest Upaya. The second one is the one who has, by way of discrimination, discipline, sadhana, upasana, has been able to has actually started seeing little bit liberated from this karmic pattern, right? I want to do, I want to work, I want to enjoy and all that. And this ownership of that, whatever is achieved after that karma, is little bit loosened. And when a threshold arises, this same sadhaka, same aspirant is taken up to the next level, which is called a higher upaya, which is shaktopaya. Okay? And if you have started realizing that I have come in the world created by God, and by the God's disgrace, I have created my own world. I'm using the word. By God's disgrace, in this God's world, I have created my own world, and this is ridiculous. Let me do away with that, or at least recognize that I have created it and it is only creating suffering for me, only creating bondages for me. Then you start working on it. This is the working of the second upaya, shaktopaya. Okay? Then comes the third upaya. I'll also give you a little bit understanding of what each of these categories use, not so elaborately, but a little bit of it. Then third upaya is known as Shambhavopaya, which means now you have worked on both the two categories. Now only thing that remains, or kind of you're working on, to see this oneness, cosmic oneness. That means the two stages are crossed, the two malas are wiped out, only Anav mala, the Anuta, the separateness is still existing. For that person, the highest upaya, the highest means is offered. That is known as Shambhavopaya. Okay? These are the three things. Okay. Now, in these three categories, primarily, the first category, which means the lowest one, utilizes what? Utilizes yantras, along with mantras, along with rituals, along with certain breathing, along with so many things, because all of us are going to pass through the 6 chakras, 3 nadis. This is the pathway. 6 chakras, 3 nadis. Using 3 nadi pathway, crossing the 6 barriers. Shata chakra bhedan. That's the aim of Tantra. Raising your consciousness from the grossest, from the most, earthly plane, what we call Mooladhara, to Sahasrara, the 7th. And that happens by crossing 6 gates, 6 barriers. Okay. So the first Anavapai is given certain mandala or certain yantra along with certain mantras, etc., etc. But yantras play a very important role. Then comes the second, which is Shaktopaya. Here, lot of mantras are used. Okay? Lot of mantras, less of yantra, lot of mantra. And it will become a very, very long discussion if I start telling you how mantras help or how yantras help. Please remember, in this world we are caught up, very briefly I'm saying, in this world we are caught up by two things. Nam and Rupa, which means name and form. Right? How do you recognize yourself? I am this. Suppose you get up tomorrow morning and you have a face of Kamala Hassan. Will you not run to the doctor saying that something has changed? Why? Because the Rupa is not the same. You are not able to recognize it. So Rupa and of course your Nama. Let's say somebody, instead of Ramesh, I call you Dinesh. You say, no. I'm not Dinesh, I'm Ramesh. Right? Which means what? Everything in this world, including yourself, what is trapping you in this bondage is Nama and Rupa. Now look at the methods here. Nama is equal to mantra, because mantra is also sound, Nama is also sound. So to liberate you from Nama, mantra. Yeah, mandala and yantras are also rupa. You have a rupa, you are caught up in rupa. So mantra and yantra, nam and rupa are to be nullified. Then comes the highest upaya. Here, in this upaya, there are 2 stages. You see, 2 stages. First is recognition of self. Recognition of self. And then recognition of self as the cosmic presence. There are 2 stages, right? And these two are possible only through the process of Shaktipat, initiation, Diksha, or direct transmission. Okay? Direct transmission. So, the initial Dikshas are done for different things. Initial initiations are done for different things. They are done for cleansing, organizing your energies, balancing, working on your attitudes and vrittis and sanskaras and so much. However, the final one is to introduce you to yourself, right? And that is a direct transmission. It happens, I mean, the first time I realize, yes, I am consciousness. I'm not body. And by chanting, I am the body, or I am not the body, or I am the soul, or I'm not the soul, doesn't work. You can continue to chant, but that experience has to come. And this experience is given in the first step is in the Ardvopaya. Sorry, in the Shambhavopaya, the first step. And the final step The final step, the final diksha is done by the God himself. Whenever he wishes, he comes down in the form that is facing you at that moment, or maybe no form at all. And then that moment you recognize you are the cosmic presence, Chaitanyam Atma. I am that. Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, Shivoham. So please uh, just summarize it, and just to summarize it, I would say, please pardon me for not being so, step by step, or if at all you have missed anything, you could not understand, or you want more clarity, etc. We can talk about it later also. For the time being, I think I should give you a chance to pose any questions if you have. If not, then you can always take if you don't have any ready questions right now, you can also talk to Alpana, a senior sadhak from our clan. She will be happy to coordinate and we can discuss even further. So thank you for your time. And I hope that how Tantra gives you different means, how Tantra proposes liberation, right? Liberation is not for I. Liberation is from I. The Kallu Halwai becomes Shiva by dropping the ego, the I-ness that is identified with Kallu Halwai, right? So on, so forth. There's so much to talk about. I really feel this shortage of time here, but I know your time is also very important and I must respect that. So I'll close it here. If you have any questions, please ask. Thank you so much. Shivoham.
Shivoham. Thank you so much, Acharya ji. That was very interesting. You actually did, pose some very poignant questions, which I which I had more questions about now. But
Please
before I
type it on
pose,
the page because you're not audible as much, Ramesh. I don't know why, but there is you're not as audible. Yeah. So please type in your questions. Anybody? I
understood.
think
So
Arunji raised his. Yeah, please.
I hope
Better.
I'm better.
Yeah, it is. It is
I will
better.
do that. Yeah, please ask your questions now for those who have questions.
Swamiji, my name is Arun Bhagda.
जी अरुण जी.
मैंने आपको सुना है, but I just wanted a clarification because what I had learned that there are three basic paths to liberation. First is the Bhakti Marg, which they say is like a bullock cart ride. Then they say there is the Gyan Marg, which they say is like a train journey or a bus journey. Then the Tantric Marg is like an air journey. And they say that if you have an accident en route, the most serious consequences are in the Tantric Marg, like the air accident. I mean, how do you explain that, sir?
You see, yeah, I understood your point. First of all, there are no such rules to say that one is superior to other. Okay, we can always boast of it being belonging to a particular way of seeking. We can say that Bhakti Marg is a bullock cart, Jnana Marg is a train, and then Tantra is like an aeroplane. By the way, I don't want to get into the aeroplane business because I am seeing the fate of Indigo. So, but anyways, even if it is so, let me tell you, this aeroplane is not to be taken literally. If you want to take it as an aeroplane, I would recommend that you take it as a spaceship. Because even if you fall, you cannot fall. You understand? My answer is, even if you fall, you will not fall.
Not fall. Weightlessness.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So no need to worry about whatever velocity you have attained, that continues, by the way, and the consciousness continues to progress life after life. If not in this life, then again you will be recognizing your purpose very soon, very early, without our getting too much entangled in the world. And I'm not saying this, by the way, Arunji. Even
Anji.
Krishna declares that in this path, whatever little endeavor we do, that is akshaya. It is never make you fall. Why should I say that anybody would ever fall when Krishna himself says nobody can ever fall from the height he has reached? And I think you need to correct your understanding.
Right, sir.
And yeah, finally, your question about accidents. Accidents do happen. Only either your guide is not correct, your airlines or a spaceship.
Grace of the Guru, I think, is most important there.
Yeah, of course, in Tantra and everywhere, by the way, it is very important. So if your rocket or spaceship is developed by someone called Elon Musk, you may have a problem. But if it is designed by Shiva himself, what is the problem? Right? And
I'm looking
actually,
forward to. I'm
yeah,
looking forward to reading your book. I've just ordered it, your new book, but the
yeah.
first one is not available. I just read about it in your introduction, but I try to get that.
Yeah, they are pebbles. They must be lying somewhere. I'll have to collect them and to give you. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I'm very keen. It was not available online. That's why I
Yeah.
say
If you are in the vicinity, I can give you a copy of that. I live in
Vicinity,
Devanali. Yeah.
I'm in Bangalore, in Yelahanka, Bangalore, ma'am.
Okay, sure. We are not far, so we can connect offline.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Arunji, thank you so much for your question, but I still think that you are still interested in knowing, and knowledge is bondage. That is the first rule. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, Ramesh, I saw your question. Let me just go here.
Am I more audible now, or is it still as bad?
Did you?
Is my audio better?
Yeah, it is. We are a soul rather than having a soul. We are of this
We are
body.
we are basically told that we are a soul. We're not this body. And since you asked, you mentioned today that generally in the Vedas it says that we have a soul. But what we're told over here is that we are a soul and we're not this body. But that also is like a program that is put into us. It is not an experience. So how do we experience that we are a soul? I'm just curious to know from you.
Yeah, Ramesh, I know that this question is very, very natural for us if we become truly interested in knowing that we are a soul. See, again, I said, your question itself has an answer. How do we know that we are a soul? You see? Acha, tell me, how do you know that you are an individual first or husband, son later on? How do you know?
That is, we were brought up. It's like a program that is put into you. We're brought up in that way. People around us tell us, give us that identity.
Yeah, that is knowledge, right? That is knowledge.
Yes.
That is borrowed knowledge, correct? So the point is, that kind of knowledge which is proposing that you are a soul, they are not telling you to just go ahead and accept it and not explore. Suppose I tell you, you have a lot of wealth in your backyard. Your ancestors have left 2 tons of gold in your backyard. What will you do?
Yeah.
Will you actually ask anybody that, okay, somebody has told that I have 2 tons of gold in my backyard, and tell me, how do I get convinced that, first of all, get convinced that I do have it? Of course, by the way of digging it, right? In the same way, I would say that if you want to know what, do I have a soul? Of course you have. Shastras declare, teachers declares, yogis and siddhas declare, the scriptures declare, and anyone who has experienced is declaring it. So follow some path, take some sadhana, and work on it. It is not far off, and many of these people who came soulless have now finally acquired a soul. Yeah, some of students are also here, so now they are smiling. So they came soulless. Now they have only soul. They don't have bodies. Don't get disguised by these bodies. They don't have body. Can you see their soul?
Well, I mean,
yeah.
well,
Okay.
I mean, through training, where I'm encouraged to see another person as a soul and not the physical attributes. But I would definitely want to believe. I I experiment with myself, and I found that if I de-link myself from this identity of Ramesh and this particular race or background or community and so on, it feels much more natural, and I don't get affected as much by what goes on in life. So from that perspective, through constant testing, I'm much more inclined to believe that I am a soul. I'm not this lower identity of Ramesh or this body, and it's only temporary. So if it's all the logic, till maybe I reach a higher level of logic. For now, that works. So that is how I subscribe to it.
Okay, well, just to little bit modification I would like to offer. Yeah, you are saying that I'm applying my logic to understand who am I, and I kind of get there by denouncing those logics, or rather using my logic to review whatever my experiences are. Yeah, that is only the beginning. That is only the beginning, that we are trying to segregate the matter from the consciousness. But wherever you are arriving, let me tell you, wherever you are arriving, when you get established there, that's the beginning of Tantra. Why? Because everything that you're perceiving about the world and self, so-called, and every liberation, kind of liberating freedom that you are experiencing right now, is experienced in your chittam. Okay, chittam, if you understand that word. Chittam means the mind, the core of it. You're experiencing
Mind.
everything in your chittam, correct? Now, the first sadhaka, the first
Experienced
liberation.
in.
Yeah, yeah, please go ahead.
Sorry, I just broke up the moment you said the last word, Satchitta Ananda. Is it? Is that the word?
Yeah, chittam is the word. Chittam is the word. It's the sum total of
Correctly. These two
mind,
words.
ego, intellect, and the sum total of your all experiences, which is carried as a smriti, sanskar, vasana, etc. This is called chittam. Your experience currently, whatever intellectually you are doing, is leading to a new experience well within the chittam itself, correct? Now, this
Yeah.
is the first type of experience of Tantra, where the sutra says Atma Chittam. This is the experience of the lowest adhikari, the lowest sadhaka. I appreciate that you're experimenting, and I also am very encouraged to see that you are also arriving at right kind of conclusions. However, there are two things which we should know. One, experiment under the guidance, which is the rule. Number two, the experience that we are getting all through, right? They must be verified on the basis of someone who has traveled the path, and also supported by the Shabda Pramana, the scriptures. And anyone who arrives there has to stay there. You see, there are two categories which I was referring to. You don't need to know two things. One is sadhaka. The aspirant is sadhaka.
Mm.
And then second is,
Mhm.
one is siddha. All right. As we move from sadhaka to siddha, which simply means I am able to hold on to this experience all through. Sadhaka becomes the siddha. If I still get swayed away, if I still develop forgetfulness because I don't know the techniques, I don't have any guidance, I am working on my own, it can help in the beginning, and it is helping. However, I would still advise to follow some real guidance and move, because I see the potential in you. Yeah. From sadhaka to
I do
siddha.
have, yes, I do have a guru, but I think I should follow the instructions more with more discipline. Yes.
Yes, of course. I always insist, if you have a guru, if you want, you should continue. And if you really feel that you are well guided, of course you should continue. If you're not doing everything that you have been told, you simply need to stick there. Do whatever is being told. And if you think, no, I have been doing everything that has been told to me and still not progressing, as a disciple, as a seeker, you always have a choice and take permission from your existing guru to just take guidance from another person. That's not a problem. It's all permitted. Yeah. Yeah. Any other question? I think we have any more? No.
We do have time for another couple of questions. If anybody wants to ask, please do ask. We have another 5 minutes. Okay. I think they're all deeply considering what you've said, Guruji.
I would just like to, I just wanted some information. If you're
Please go
having
ahead.
an ashram,
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead, Arunji.
Acharya, you have an ashram, and if so, where is it located? And can anyone visit it?
No, ashram is located in Uttarakhand and open to the initiated students. Also, when we have programs which are open to all, you can be definitely invited and you can visit the place. Arunji will be pleased to host you here.
Means Rishikesh or some other place in Uttarakhand?
No. We are not rishis, so we have moved away from there. We are in Dehradun. We are in the foothill of Himalayas, in deep jungle.
No, I did my initial schooling in Dehradun, so it's
wonderful. It will be a privilege to have you here and walk through the streets of Dehradun, because we don't know much about the place.
God willing, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Acharya ji, and I have another question.
Please.
You mentioned about Tantra, I mean, to the effect of Tantra being more like a fast track method to spiritual growth. What is the difference? What is essentially the difference there between Tantra and?
I could not hear beyond Tantra and.
What is the difference between Tantra and Bhakti and Jnana Marga or Raja Yoga?
Okay. You have put 3 questions in one question. But anyways.
Why is Tantra possible?
Yeah. Anyways, but let me try to answer all that you have asked.
Why is Tantra faster than the others?
Yeah. Okay. I will let you know. Pardon me for muting you. I'm admin anyways. So good. You gave me wrong rights. All right. So let me define this, that our discrimination about the path, like bhakti, jnana, and the tantra. Okay. First of all, there are various levels of our preparedness. Okay. Acha, tell me, would you actually ever want to be alone? Ramesh, now you can unmute yourself. Would you ever want to be alone? Yeah, unmute yourself, please.
I'm quite happy being alone also.
Okay. Also, nahi, only alone, because there is no option then.
If I'm always alone, then there's no problem, because I don't even know what company would be then.
Okay. So if you want to stay alone, you're happy being alone, and you have realized that whenever there is the otherness, there is a problem, there is suffering, then you are a right candidate for Jnana Marga and Tantra.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
The one who can never stay alone, बोले भाई अकेले में मुझे डर लगता है, मुझे कोई तो चाहिए, then you are fit candidate for bhakti, because bhakti is pure duality. And let me give you another very strong statement by Tantra, and that's the most empowering statement. You see, Tantra says anything that you imagine can happen, and anything that even you cannot imagine can also happen. So suppose you imagine that there will be a God whose company I will get. And if I do like this, and of course there are methods, and you arrive at that state of firm belief, which is called Shraddha, and get rooted in that kind of understanding, you will definitely meet that God. But that God is your creation. You see, we have created Krishna, we have created Jesus, we have also created a much problematic Allah, but they're all dualities, right? However, if you think that, and if you have come to that understanding, a more refined understanding, that if God is to be there, it cannot be human-like, it is rather the source of all inspiration, intelligence, presence, and energies, then, and all pervading in every speck of it, then you will arrive what is referred to in yoga as kaivalya, that aloneness. I don't call it loneliness, aloneness. And that one thing that we declare in Jnana Marga, Aham Brahmasmi, and in Tantric philosophy, Shivoham. You understand? So anything you imagine is a possibility. Based on your capacity, you imagine and you become, rather not only imagine, you reach where your imagination can take you. The ultimate possibilities of oneness only at the end. That is the zenith of experience. All right. I hope I could answer your question. Yes, Ramesh? Yeah, unmute yourself.
Yeah, definitely, I can say that it is it has given me some kind of subtle indication that I'm very happy with being alone, and I don't have any issues with that at all. I can be with
Okay, great.
myself in silence. Yes.
Very nice. Very nice. But before I quit and say goodbye to all of you, I would just peel off the layers of so-called Vedanta or Advaita philosophy. And I must. You know what? Who is the founder of Advaita Vedanta? Who is the founder? Shankaracharya, right? I need not wait for your answer. Everybody would know it. Shankaracharya. Great. If Advaita Vedanta was only a mental, contemplation, and no, nothing needs to be done, rather than only a belief needs to be, created, an understanding, intellectual understanding was to be arrived, then why Shankaracharya has to establish Sri Yantra in every Pitha that he has created? It is pure Tantra. You see, the Vedanta is a spoken experience of the Tantric culmination. Understand? So therefore, you should not, we should not all think that if we have understood the words, the concepts, and somewhat kind of little feeling that we get, it's never equivalent to that experience which you arrive at through sadhana. Even Shankaracharya suggests sadhana. he also propitiates Devi in much more grand way than we all know in Saundarya Lahari. Okay, so let us not delude ourselves by saying that there is Jnana Marg. There is nothing called Jnana Marg. All those who are already prepared, already almost there, may seem to take birth and feel like they have not done any sadhana and they are realized, and therefore there is this Jnana Marg doesn't exist. You have to put efforts. You have to use your tools and techniques which have been already presented to us by the great scriptures and masters of antiquity. Even Vedas, for that matter, are full of rituals. Why rituals then? If ultimate culmination is Aham Brahmasmi and Tattvamasi, we need to think about it. Why Mimamsa? So, sadhana is unavoidable. Only through contemplation you can't arrive there. That's our take. Somebody may differ, and I give them that right to be having a different opinion. I rest my case here.
Is there any number that we can contact if you have any questions?
Yeah, Alpana is my number.
Any number, contact number?
Alpana is my number. Alpana,
Okay.
Alpana, please flash your number. Also, give all your, Google Map पे जो है वो अपना Google Map भी दे दो so that everybody can approach you. नहीं, not needed. Yeah, okay. So here
Shared
is the
my
number.
contact number. Yes.
Yeah, thank you,
Okay.
Acharya.
So we look forward to meeting you people, you wonderful guys, again and again. I hope we will try to understand all other concepts that we have just briefly touched upon. We need to understand threadbare and also talk more of a whatever your interests are, you can also send that these are the topics and you want to be educated or rather informed about. That is also possible, because at the end we are we are lucky enough to be associated with leftist tantra, rightist tantra, yoga, and also the Vedantic akhadas of Shankaracharya. So there is no such issue here. Whatever questions you are, I can answer. However, if you ask me which practical approach you would give us, then I will choose Tantra. Because that is, in my experience, the best path.
Amazing.
Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for all your courtesy here. I really saw a lot of enthusiasm in your group. Out of 40, at least 10% have turned up. This is a good number to begin with. Yet, I look forward to more participation next time. And I'll be really happy if you can share this recording or some clips. You have anyways recorded it. If you don't have a team, send us the recording. We will also give it to the team to create some, some kind of material which you can use to further tickle and poke those people who could not attend it. Thank you so much. Shiva.
Thank you so much, Acharya ji.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Yes. So Anshul ji also says thanks a lot in the chat. So in fact, I think after your talk, it was really deep and it really got us to think and to even stop thinking, because beyond a certain point, as you mentioned quite rightly, knowledge doesn't help beyond a certain point. We need enough knowledge, enough common sense to get there first. So
Yes,
thank you so
all
much
right.
for getting us to
Yeah.
that point. And we are, in fact, there's a lot more questions that in fact are coming up because you've scratched the surface. Leftist, rightist, Tantra, this new concepts for me and others too, I'm sure. And we'd love to have you again for maybe a series of satsangs because definitely this is something that is taking us to a different plane altogether. And 1 hour is really not enough to even scratch the surface. So would love to see you again. And also we could even do a workshop a weekend workshop at the school also in person, offline, if that works out for you sometime. It's a beautiful place where Agastya Muni and his team had once visited. The vibrations are very nice, the School of Ancient Wisdom near the airport at Bangalore. So, on behalf of the School of Ancient Wisdom and all of us here, a deep thank you, Acharya ji, and we hope to see you again.
Thank
So
you so
now
much.
we
Let
come
us
to the
pray.
last part.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have an end prayer, it is good, or else I will have my own prayer before I leave. If you have any end prayer, you can, or else I will pray and then I'll leave.
Yes, sure. We do have a Loka Samasta at the end.
Yeah,
Maybe we
sure.
could do
Please
that,
go
and
ahead.
after that, you can do your
Please,
prayer.
please go.
Yeah,
Please go ahead. One prayer is enough. No,
right.
no worries. Yeah.
Okay. Well, normally we do the Loka Samasta at the end of our satsangs, which is a collective prayer, which touches each one of us. So the idea is that please think of the name of the person who needs prayers also in your community, be it in the area of health, wealth, or relationships, the main karmic lesson areas for most of us. Think of the name and the problem that they're facing. Also, please send out vibrations of peace, love, and harmony to the world at large. Love and truth are the need of the hour. So please sit straight with your back, neck, and head aligned for the Loka Samasta. Take a nice deep breath. And let go. Observe the silence. Language of the soul that connects all of us. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanastu. Thank you all. And Swamiji, if you want to chant your prayer, that would be lovely. We'd love to hear it also, if you want.
You have already done it. In a way, you have already done it. We also chant similar prayer. There is nothing different. And I will only say that we got it covered.
Swamiji.
Thank
So
you.
till next Thursday, same time, same place. See you all and God bless you.
Shalom, Acharya.
Shiva. Thank you.
Shivam
Thank you,
Acharya.
everyone.
Thank you, Ramesh.
Pranam Guruji. Shivam.
Shivam Acharya.
Shiva.